All right, readers, we're starting with a new mystery book today that I'm going to do a little read aloud with you guys. It's called The Who Done It Detective Agency. And this particular one is called The Diamond Mystery. So I've never seen these before, but they look pretty interesting. So one thing to think about when I'm starting a new mystery is you can look at the cover. There's a lot going on there. I see some diamonds and some jewelry, things like that. Down here at the bottom, I see a bucket, and it looks like some cleaning supplies. So I'm not sure how that's going to factor in, if it does at all. But then on the back, we've talked about how we read our blurbs, and a lot of time in your blurb, you get you find out already kind of what the crime is, and even who the crime solvers are. So I'm going to read the blurb really quickly, and then I'll get started reading these chapters. It says, in between hanging out, riding their bikes, and playing video games, best friends and classmates Jerry and Maya run a detective agency in their small town. So right there, it sounds like we have our crime solvers, okay? In this mystery, somebody is stealing diamonds from the local jeweler, and it looks like the culprit is someone on the jeweler's staff. So did you hear that part where it said, in this mystery, someone is stealing diamonds from the local jeweler, which is just like a jewelry store, okay? But just who is it? The police chief and the jeweler are stumped by the case, so Jerry and Maya are asked to help to crack it. Will they be able to use their superior skills to find the thief? As they know, even a tiny clue can be worth its weight in gold. So, I'm going to look. This one doesn't have a table of contents, so I can't really look through there. I will show you. It gives you a little preview right here. I'm going to move this a little bit. I think I have a little glare from my window. Okay. Where it says, the books in the Who Done It Detective Agency series are set in the charming little town of Pleasant Valley. It's the sort of close-knit community where nearly everyone knows one another. The town and characters are all fictional, of course. Or are they? The main characters, Jerry and Maya, are classmates and close friends who run a small detective agency together. So I think here you see a picture of Jerry, and that looks like Maya because it looks like she has an M on her shirt. And then they give you a little map of the little town. So kind of hard to see all of it, but that's their little town that they're in. It's called Pleasant Valley. And then on this page, it gives it says up here, the people. And these are the people that we're going to read about in the story. So chapter 1, the detective's office. The streets were empty in the little town of Pleasant Valley. At 3:30 on a chilly February afternoon, it was already growing dark. A late winter storm had left the town slick with freezing rain. There was a light shining through the basement window of a small house just east of town. Inside, 2 children enjoyed the cozy warmth of the basement. Their names were Jerry and Maya, classmates and good friends from school. They were off from school for winter break. Most of their friends were charging down the sledding hill, but neither Jerry nor Maya felt like joining them. They had something else on their minds. I have a feeling that something exciting is going to happen soon, said Jerry hopefully. Mumbled Maya. She had her nose in the book as usual. The 2 classmates had set up a small office in Maya's basement, and they sat in 2 old armchairs that stood next to a table piled high with books. More volumes of thick books. Maya's dad's detective stories lined the walls. Maya and Jerry liked to sit in this room and read. During winter break, they wanted to learn everything about how thieves and police officers worked. You see, Maya and Jerry were not just friends. They were partners as well. Together they ran a detective agency, the Who Done It Detective Agency. The detective, of course, is a type of police officer who wears regular clothes instead of an official uniform. A detective carries out investigation, spies on suspects, takes photographs, and looks through binoculars. In the end, a good detective solves the case and catches the criminal. So there's a picture of them in those. I wish we really had an exciting case, said Maya with a sigh. Maybe all of the thieves are on winter break too, said Jerry. Maya opened a tidy cabinet to make sure everything inside was well organized. It held everything they needed for their detective work. A camera with a flash, a pair of binoculars to spy on things from far away, a magnifying glass to check for fingerprints, a mirror to peer around corners, several false noses and wigs to disguise themselves, a few flashlights to use when it was dark, and a safe to protect the money that they had earned. I'll show that a little closer. These are all the things they needed for their detective work. But their safe was empty because nothing exciting had happened for a long time. But once it did, Jerry and Maya were ready. They had put up signs all around Pleasant Valley. On nearly every streetlight and door, they had hung posters that said, "The Who Done It Detective Agency now accepting exciting and dangerous assignments. Lost wallets and runaway cats recovered. Low prices and tax is included." So while Jerry and Maya waited for an exciting case, they researched detective stories. Maya was just about to fill Jerry in on the book she was reading. It was a story about a dog napper who stole dogs tied up outside doors and then called the dogs' owners to demand ransoms for the poor pooches. Maya was upset just thinking about it. That was one criminal she would really like to catch. But before she had a chance to describe the case to Jerry, there was a knock on the door. Jerry and Maya looked at each other in surprise. Who could it be? Chapter 2, A Desperate Man Seeks Help. That's the title of the chapter. Before Maya could move an inch, Jerry leaped up, ran up the stairs, and opened the front door. Standing on the steps was a man with a bushy black mustache, wearing a striped wool hat and wet shoes. It was Muhammad Carrot, the richest man in all Pleasant Valley. He owned the jeweler's store on Church Street. His store was famous all across the country, from New York all the way to Los Angeles, from its spectacular diamonds, rings, earrings, and other fancy jewelry. What could the jeweler possibly want with Jerry and Maya? There's a picture of Jerry and their customer. Jerry showed Mr. Carrot down to their small office in the basement. "Welcome, Mr. Carrot. Please sit down," said Maya, gesturing toward an empty chair. Muhammad Carrot plunked down in the armchair and removed a handkerchief from his coat pocket. He was sweating, and Jerry and Maya could see that he was nervous. "What can we do for you, Mr. Carrot?" asked Jerry politely. "I'm desperate. I'm just desperate for help," began Muhammad Carrot. "I saw your poster on the streetlight outside my store. Are you still accepting cases?" Maya and Jerry nodded and eagerly took out their pens and notebooks. "As you probably know, I've owned the jewelry store on Church Street for many years, and business has been booming," started Muhammad Carrot. "People come into my quiet little store here in Pleasant Valley from far and wide. But now it seems my luck has run out," and he blew his nose into the handkerchief. "What do you mean?" asked Jerry. So there he is, all upset. I'm wondering myself, and I wonder what you think Mr. Carrot means when he said his luck has run out. I wonder what that means. "My trust has been violated. That's what I mean," exclaimed Muhammad Carrot. "One of the people working in my store is stealing my diamonds. I'm sure of it. In the past month, 5 extremely valuable gems have disappeared, and I have no idea how. I am a very cautious man. I require everyone who works in the store to empty their bags and pockets before they go home, but I never find anything. Nothing has been carried out of the store. I'm absolutely certain of that. Well, what do the police think? Maya asked. The police have been investigating and keeping watch since the very first diamond disappeared, but they don't have a suspect. They said they can't do anything until the thief makes a mistake and gives himself or herself away. Muhammad loosened the tie around his neck. Soon I'll be ruined and I will have to close my store, he sniffled. Without my famous diamonds, my customers will quickly lose interest in my jewelry store altogether. Jerry and Maya could see that Mr. Carrot was really upset. This is a tricky situation, said Jerry, scratching his nose with his pen. That helped him to think. The police can't do any more to help, and they don't have a suspect. Is that right? Absolutely right, replied Muhammad Carrot. But I have an idea. I'll hire the 2 of you to work in my store. While you're working, you can secretly keep an eye on the employees and tip me off to any suspicious behavior. You can help me find out who has been stealing my diamonds. Are you interested? Please say that you are. Maya and Jerry exchanged a quick glance. We will start tomorrow. Chapter 3. The investigation begins. The next day, the sun was shining brightly.